Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Michael for Spirit Comics. Welcome to my review of Red Hood and the Outlaws number 10. Now, if you've been following my channel, you know I've already done this one. Like, I've already done Hulk issues 6, 7, and 8. And the reason that I'm redoing these, re-reviewing them, is because I discovered recently that 12 of my reviews had no sound, so I'm having to re-review them, and that's okay because these are cool books. Now this issue number 10, you would think because Artemis and Bizarro are in the background that they aren't in this issue very much, but that would be wrong because it's called Who is Artemis, and I believe this is part 2, even though it has the death of Jason Todd. I think that's on the cover just, for eye candy to attract people, which is good. You must have a good cover to attract people to buy your book. And you must have a good story inside the book, along with good artwork. But if you have a bad story, bad writing, bad artwork, people will come to the comic shop and they'll see, oh, this is cool cover, but then they'll remember the previous issue was, not so good, and they won't buy it. That's just, short commentary. And it opens up with Artemis and Akila. Artemis thinking to herself, she was dead. I know because I took her life to save our city. She was my best friend. She was more. Akila was the Shimtar, the protector of the Amazons of Banamagdal. What I would have been if I weren't less. She was driven mad by the power of the bow of Ra, but now Artemis is killing herself mentally because she did not live up to the expectations of the Shimtar. When in fact she's a great warrior, she's a good friend, and she sees herself as less because she wasn't worthy of the bow of Ra. Well, she can accomplish so much more even without it. Anyways, she's at this party with Akila, among other Amazons of Banamagdal. Now I raise my glass to you, Artemis, my sister in arms. It's been too long since you walked among us. I'll be honest, Akila. I don't think I was welcome home after you forced me to kill you. Please, what's a little spilled blood between warriors? Here's to Artemis' return! And you have to kind of wonder about that. What's a little spilled blood between warriors? Notice she says warriors, not friends. And I think that's a little interesting detail there. We've heard so much about you, sister. Akila said your swordplay was the stuff of legend. In our childhood, Akila says, Artemis and I used to hone our skills together. Having trained you all myself, I can attest she has no equal, before or since. That the gods have led her to us on this night of nights is a sign. United as we are, there is no enemy capable of defeating us. The 10 soldiers of Korak will not stand. Let the desert run red with their blood. And of course these women are basically, a little bit, not they're not all there. You know, there are a few fries short of a Happy Meal to put it in in a good way, because they still believe in these old gods, which Artemis does not, because she says us being me, Red Hood, and Bizarro, because she says here it wasn't the gods, they abandoned us long ago. It was a plane crash that brought us here, us being me, Red Hood, and Bizarro, in search of the bow of Ra, fallen into the hands of General Ahmad-Hir, dictator of Iraq. I couldn't have guessed I'd see my Akila alive again. Why don't I run? Why don't I find my friends and accomplish our mission? I'm sorry, sisters. I need a moment, she says, to steal herself away, for a breath of fresh air. Maybe because the bow of Ra is much closer than I'm willing to admit. I think at this point she is starting to realize that Akila has the bow of Ra, but Akila is not willing to admit anything right now. I'm sorry for stringing you up and for stealing your beloved axe. I need time to explain myself, Akila says. That's not it. It's everything, Akila. Finding you alive. Because these were close friends. Looking at our home again, restored to all its beauty and grandeur, it's like staring into a dream. But how did... Ra doesn't explain his ways to me, Akila says. Let's just take this moment to be grateful. Welcome home, little sister. And then we move to the cell where Jason Todd is being held. See, this is why it was stupid of me to come back to Iraq, even to help Artemis, even if I thought I could handle it. Physically, I am alone, but in my head, not so much. I'm drowning in memories of the worst day of what was my very short life, the day I was murdered. But please, Jason, help me. I've tried, Robin. Every night since I stepped out of the Lazarus pit, believe me, I've tried. Ha 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 ha. See, that's me a lifetime ago. And this is, a nightmare that he keeps replaying over and over in his head. Welcome home, Jason. How do you know my name? I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him. Wow. Funny. The smell. Now this is something that's a little bit confusing to me. When he fell into those chemicals that changed his face forever, they left a stench on his skin. The Joker always smells like death, left out on a hot summer day. Now this is confusing. Even though I do really like Red Hood and the Outlaws, it's a great book, this seems to be a little plot error. The Joker was transformed into his current state long before Jason Todd came along. Because there was Dick Grayson. They originally fought the Joker as well. Dick Grayson and Batman. So I'm wondering, how does he have those memories of when it happened to the Joker? And let me see here. Oh yeah. He says, want to hear a joke? Nope. Come on. Yeah, he says, nope, but thanks. Come on, it's to die for. Promise. Stop me if you've heard this one before. This robin walks into a crowbar. Ha 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 ha. I just slay myself. And by myself, of course, I mean you. Ha ha ha. That really wasn't very funny. Oh boy, I've got a million of those ways to kill you, that is. But of course, but only one reason. You're the bird that got between the bat and the clown. I have a joke for you too. Eh? And then we see, the Joker being killed by Jason Todd. Only it's all in his mind, so it's not actually happening. I know it isn't real, he tells himself. None of it is. But blam, 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 blam! Man, is that satisfying. Ha 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 ha. It says, good one. You did it. You saved me. But every time I do, nothing ever changes. And then we shift over to a scene with Bizarro and the refugees. And that little kid, Olin, says, Bizarro, are you sure this is where you wanted to take us? Yes. You am wanting to be free. Me am bring you to the Reds. They am way smarter than Bizarro. What am problem? What am? Are you stupid or something? You led us smack into a mountain. Look at the sick and elderly and hungry. How are we supposed to get over a mountain? I love this, what's coming up. Everyone freeze! You are in violation of the General's orders. The detail here with Bizarro, throughout the whole book, really, of the creases between it on his suit, the coloring, everything, it's superb. Something that other artists could learn from. He said, this is your final warning. Return to your homes now. We have no homes. You destroyed them. Baka, 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 baka. And then Bizarro gets in the fight. He says, here am your final warning. Bizarro not do warnings. Bizarro does mad. knocks the helicopter out of the sky with his freeze breath. Aye, run away! And so they start to scatter when the helicopter comes down. Phew, I thought that copter was going to kill us. Me have you, Olin. Bizarro might not be as smart as Red Him, but me am not stupid. If mountain am problem, now this is wonderful. Wham! Bizarro will move it. Wham! I love that. Now back with Akila and Artemis. She says, you and I used to talk about how we would raise Banner McDowell to its rightful glory, she says. About how our people would show man's world how to maintain order through strength and compassion. I'm not sure if those are two actually good items that will go together. That's why you came back, Artemis says. I want to believe that is still possible, but Akila, what do you intend to do with this army you've gathered? I'm going to reclaim the Bow of Ra, of course, she says. You don't? I was afraid it was you who destroyed the city of Kakesh. She becomes all serious for a moment and says, the bow was my responsibility. I can hear the screams of the dead every time I close my eyes. Tell me what happened. How are you alive, sister? Artemis says, yeah. I don't know why that came up. Now she starts to spin her own story. And she says, as you know, our host country of Korak has long had a history of dictators. The latest is General Hiller. I can't pronounce his name. He was not content with the power of man. He tortured anyone who might lead him to the power of the gods. Eventually, his soldiers found something in Gotham City, and soon they presented the general with the Bow of Ra. But owning it and wielding it, as this soldier tries to do right here, are two entirely different matters. He learned only one person can use the bow, the Shimtar, so he searched for me. My death was just a setback, she says. He used technology to replicate my cells in order to use the bow. No one knew that when he brought the bow back to life, I came back as well. So is the bow a living being or something? Because, to my knowledge, a bow is an inanimate object unless it's possessed with magical traits. Then Artemis says, when I think of you alone in that sarcophagus for so long, it tears my heart because she really missed Akila, who was her friend. You did what you had to do. Look around, Akila says. I almost destroyed our city. Only by the grace of you and Diana of Themyscira was I stopped. I forgive you for what you did. Thank you, Artemis says with tears running down her face. But I'm not sure I will ever forgive myself. Because she really cared for Akila. This is about more than us, Akila says. This is about Ra bestowing his blessing on the people of Bana Magdal. It is about our sisters no longer hiding behind a desert storm. The past is the past. Last time I tried to help people without you, last time I tried to help people without you, I won't make that mistake again. I've missed you so much, she says. Then stand with me. I can't do this without you, Artemis. I was a fool to ever try. It is time to dry your tears and take up arms. Mistress? Because that's what Artemis calls her axe, mistress. It's magical. She says the word mistress, and then boom, the axe appears. She must agree with Akila, or she would not have appeared. Artemis, my love, you have returned to me, and nothing will keep us apart ever again, except death. Ha ha ha! Now we're back with Jason, and his nightmare inside his mind. He's still alive. He's never going to die, Jason. Not here. Not in my mind. Not if at some point I don't stand up and walk away from my memories, from you. But I'm just a kid. That's what I've been telling myself for years, he says. Now, I like this scene because it starts to bring out some good subjects, even though it is written into a very harsh scenario. But things are different now. Roy, Corey, Arsenal and Starfire, Artemis, Bizarro. When I was your age, I never let anyone in. I thought I could do everything alone. What are you saying? That this is my fault? He says to his younger self in his mind, you came to Karak all by yourself. You never gave yourself a chance. You died like you lived. Alone. You're not going to save me? If I could have, God, I would have. And then the Joker goes, crack, crack, right across his skull. And he laughs terribly. And then a big explosion. So he comes back to the waking world. And he goes, what? I must have a concussion from the crash. Got so far into my own head, I didn't even notice I was being tortured by General Hilakrak's self-appointed dictator for life. He's even less impressed by me than I am with him. The only reason you're still alive is I thought you might prove useful, that I could learn how you survived their attack on your plane. There? But clearly you know nothing about the location of the Bow of Ra. I have wasted too much time on this costumed idiot. Dump his body for the predators in the sand, and then come back here right away. So they make the mistake of untying him. And of course the general made the order of telling them to. Because when he did, he fights back. Crack! Another step and you die! Only he's trained by some of the best. Or I just blast your head clean across the room. Wait, we can discuss this reasonably. You said their attack. That means you didn't take down my plane, which also means you aren't the one using the Bow of Ra. You don't understand. The nation of Karak is surrounded by enemies throughout the Middle East. I don't dare show weakness. No, I don't have the bow. Not anymore. I did when I bought it off the Black Mask. But it was like trying to control the sun itself. I didn't mean to. You have to believe me. But I am afraid I let the genie out of the bottle, and nothing can put her back. My partner told me only a Shimtar could wield the bow. She also told me the last one is dead unless... Then he starts to get an idea of what's going on. Oh my God. Oh, come on, reader, don't do this. Well, let's reload. Oops. There was an error. Well, let's get back to my books. Okay. Now, let's get back to the place where I left off. And then the art in here is just beautiful. Okay, this is where I left off. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. This is Akila. She's gone into, I think her tent. She summons the Bow of Ra, the same way that Artemis summons her axe. Mistress, to me. In the name of our beloved Ra, soon all will kneel before your power, or they will burn. Next, Outlaws at War. This issue was really good. It was full of deception, heartbreak, you know, having to face the past, you know, helping others that couldn't help themselves. And the artwork, I thought was great. You know, the texture, the coloring, all worked together. I really enjoyed this issue, but what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments. I'm Michael for Spirit Comics. Please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also, please smash that bell like She-Hulk so you'll be notified of all new uploads. And also, please like and share this video with others so they can enjoy it as well. Till next time, true readers.